Good morning, everyone. We're just waiting for the parties to join, and then we can get started with today's pre-hearing conference.
Couldn't believe it's already December.
Oh my goodness, I know.
Time goes by and by and by.
It sure does.
Hmm.
Hello.
Good morning, Attorney Coyle.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Coyle.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I believe we're just waiting for Attorney Hartnett to join, and okay.
Morning.
Can you all hear okay?
Yes.
Great.
Good morning, Mr. Hartnett.
Good morning.
So I think we're good to get started. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. The time is 10:01 a.m. This is a pre-hearing conference in the matter of Stanley Clerge before the Massachusetts Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. This is a public proceeding and proper notice has been provided. We are convening remotely via Zoom, and this pre-hearing conference is being recorded. The Honorable Judith A. Cowin will be the presiding officer over today's pre-hearing conference. My name is Lizzie Smith, and I'm the hearings administrator for the Post Commission. And this matter is now before Judge Cowin.
Good morning, Counsel. Would you please identify yourself, starting with the commission, and if your client is with you, Mr. Coyle, please let us know.
Timothy Hartnett, Enforcement Counsel for the Commission.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kevin Coyle for Stanley Clerge. Officer Clerge is not with me, but he has a medical appointment this morning. He is available by telephone if it's necessary for him to be consulted on anything.
Fine. I have received your joint and read your joint final pre-hearing memorandum. I'll go through it briefly and ask you a few other questions. As far as resolution, I see that you haven't reached an agreement. To me, this looks like a matter that could be resolved without a hearing, but I'll hear from the parties. Have you made any more progress, Mr. Hartnett?
I don't think we made any more progress. It's kind of in this.
Would you please speak up? I'm not hearing you too well.
I'm sorry. We've discussed it, but we haven't reached any agreement. I don't know we made any progress.
Mr. Coyle, can you?
Yeah, I'm not optimistic, Your Honor. I was going to speak to Attorney Hartnett after our conference here today and try to find out what the final positions of all are, but I would agree it's not likely to be resolved.
Hey, it seems to me like this is a matter that could be resolved short of a hearing, but I can't mediate it because I don't want to do that when I'm the fact finder. But well, I hope that you can make some progress, maybe discuss something a little more productively later today. All right. Are there any matters outstanding that anybody sees at the present time? I'll go through each one of these first and then ask you that again, I guess. Are there any discovery issues?
I have
Nothing.
No? No. Okay. No disputed issues of law that you foresee?
No.
Okay. You're certain that, is there anything that I will need to rule on?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing. Maybe there's something wrong with the microphone.
I'm sorry. I'm not aware of any disputes of law.
Mr. Coyle?
I'm not aware of any either, Your Honor. I think this is a credibility case.
Okay, that's fine. But I just want to be sure we're going to be in an open hearing, and I don't want to have people sitting around while I have to go out and make some rulings of law. All right, and you say there are no anticipated evidentiary issues? Is that correct?
I do not anticipate any, Your Honor.
Okay, now I see the exhibits. Mr. Hartnett, are you planning to introduce these exhibits at the hearing?
Yes.
Well, you know that if I'm going to make a credibility determination, I can't do it on a basis of a piece of paper. I have to hear a witness and make a credibility determination regarding what that witness is saying. So what are you proposing?
Well, the detective who was on scene was, who was investigated and is expected to testify, and should be able to testify to most of these. Because some of it is, I mean, these are certified court records and whatnot, so.
I'm sorry, I'm just not hearing you. Can you get closer to the microphone or something?
Yes, I'll try. I don't know if it helps at all.
That's better. Go ahead.
I mean, we expect to have one of the detective who was on the scene and investigated and spoke to the complaining or the alleged victim, and also took photos of the scene. I expect her to be able to testify to most of this. Some of this, I mean, some of this is court records and certified court records and whatnot, or just recordings.
So then why do you need the report? If we're gonna have the witness, why do we need the report?
She didn't draft every bit of that report. The report was drafted, a lot of that came from an officer who is not available. He's on military leave, so the only officer I have available who would be able to testify to the vast majority of this is this detective.
Why is the other officer not available?
He's on military leave. Extended military leave.
What about Lieutenant Dunn?
I haven't asked him if he's available, but he wasn't present for, I mean, they wrote, some of them right. I mean, I could make them available, but I wasn't planning on having them come in when they have the written report, and I don't expect them to testify much more beyond that.
He stated that he was on scene and observed the personnel evaluating the reporting party for any injuries. None were visible, he says. Et cetera, et cetera. As I say, I cannot make rulings on credibility determinations based on police reports. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know that, I'm not necessarily relying on Lieutenant Dunn's credibility beyond, I mean, he's just stating some simple facts, other than the determination of, as to what happened and whatnot. I mean, the detective will need to speak to that, to what any sort of analysis or evaluation she made and what she observed. A lot of this is on video, so it's really, you can observe the individual. We have body worn camera that would be submitting from all of these officers, which is, I think, more useful than even the reports.
And the body worn camera footage would be exhibit S. S isn't Sam.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe that's correct.
All right. As far as protecting the confidentiality of the alleged victim and children, that will do that by having redacted copies of all the paper exhibits, and the parties, you will instruct your witnesses, both attorneys, to use initials instead of the full names of the alleged victim and any children. Is that correct, Mr. Hartnett?
Yes.
And Mr. Coyle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so nobody will be using names. All witnesses will be instructed to use initials. Okay. Mr. Hartnett, you're preparing to call the respondent as your witness?
I would only call him in rebuttal. I wouldn't.
What did you say? You're only going to call him in
I would
rebuttal?
only call him in rebuttal at this point.
Okay. So you're saying your only witness will be Detective Jones?
Correct.
And then, Mr. Coyle, you're planning to call the respondent and that he may be your only witness. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Coyle, has the respondent served the suspension that was ordered by the Springfield Police Department?
He received, I believe, was a 7-day suspension, Your Honor. The reasons a Board of Police Commissioners is a 5-member civilian board that oversees disciplinary cases in the city of Springfield. And the reasons that they articulated, which I believe is one of the exhibits, are a little confusing, frankly. What they did not find was domestic violence. They did not find that. My understanding from attending the hearing and listening to their dialogue was their main concern was that Officer Clerge did not self-report this incident.
And for the failure to self-report, they imposed 7-day suspension?
Yeah, the actual explanation or reasons given in there, I don't have it in front of me, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I found them confusing, but I think the salient point is they did not find him guilty of domestic violence.
Okay, well, did he serve the 7-day suspension?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hartnett, are you proceeding, or is the commission proceeding against Mr. Clerge for, well, based on the charging document, you're proceeding against the respondent on the basis of a charge of domestic violence. Am I correct?
Well, yes, but the suspension is related to that. The suspension, although Attorney Coyle is correct that there's a separate finding that he did not commit criminal conduct. They did not find enough for criminal conduct. They did find that he was, this is where it's confusing. They refer to him as being discourteous towards her, and that's a specific finding. And that's our basis. And that relates back to his actions towards her, which
I'm sorry,
discourtesy as domestic violence.
I don't know. I don't know. Lizzie, are you having difficulty getting all the words from Mr. Hartnett, or is it just me?
No, Attorney Hartnett, I believe your mic is just a little like muffled. I don't know if you have headphones or something that may make it easier to.
No, I don't have any headphones. I don't know. Is this better?
That is better for me, at least.
Okay. I might just be positioning my laptop. I don't know exactly where the mic is on this thing.
Okay. So wait, I heard you as much as you said they found him as being discourteous to the woman.
Yes. But it doesn't go into description as to what that means or what that's about. But it relates to his actions towards her that day. Which, we think is domestic violence, not discourtesy. But yeah, I mean, we do believe that there's sufficient evidence to show that he assaulted her.
Okay, well.
Assaulted and battered her that day.
As you are aware, there's a large gap between being discourteous to someone and assaulting someone.
Yeah. But I understand, and so I mean, we would prove that he was suspended. Therefore, the commission has the authority to, under that regulation, he was suspended. They have the authority to determine to suspend or revoke his license. And then an additional factor in to consider is the fact that he actually also assaulted her that day. And we would ask that you find that as an additional ground, either separately or in connection with that.
Well, I'm not bound in any way by the finding of the commission. I mean, by the finding of the Board of Discipline in Springfield.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the time of the hearing, as you know, you'll each have an opportunity to make an opening statement. And it would be very helpful to me if at that time you make very clear, Mr. Hartnett, what it is you're attempting to establish and what it is you're seeking to have me find. And Mr. Coyle, same goes for you.
Okay.
I will have a much better idea of what I'm doing if you give me an opening that provides exactly what you expect to present and to prove, so that I will know that, will have that in mind when I'm listening to the witnesses. It also is helpful because this has come up before in hearings. If at the end of the hearing, I think in your closing statements, Mr. Hartnett, you at least make a recommendation as to the discipline the commission is seeking, should I determine that there has been a action that would warrant any type of discipline. And Mr. Coyle, I'm assuming that you would be making an argument that no further discipline is required.
Yeah, this raises an issue, I guess, Your Honor. I was expecting to be able to submit a post-hearing brief or memorandum.
Okay, oops, I lost you. Hmm.
Judge Cowan, did you just say you can't like see the Zoom anymore?
Right, my screen went blank.
Um, uh, which like browser were you using? Do you know?
Excuse me?
Which internet browser were you using? Do you know?
No. I
Um,
clicked on the Zoom link that you sent me just this morning, late.
Okay. Do you have the Zoom app on your computer? There should be a little icon on the bottom.
Yes, should I click that?
Yeah, try clicking that.
There, I can see you, okay.
Great.
Ah, I'm back. Sorry, excuse me, I don't know what happened, but my screen went blank. Mr. Coyle, if you want to submit a post-hearing memorandum, then that would be fine, perfectly acceptable. And I will also give the commission opportunity to submit such a memorandum. Okay. But I can't see why it wouldn't be helpful to both you and to me, Mr. Coyle. I would think it would be helpful if Mr. Hartnett made an argument regarding the type of discipline the commission is seeking, should I find that there allegations are supported.
That, I have no problem with him doing that at the hearing, and then we would each have the opportunity to submit a brief.
Okay, Mr. Hartnett, do you have any problem with that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then we will be prepared to do that. So, all right. See, there were no anticipated, there are questions of law that are not in dispute. I see in the memorandum. And the exhibits are not opposed. So I assume there were no scheduling issues with any witnesses, is that right?
I have
Correct.
none.
Okay, and I have all the exhibits. Okay, it seems to me that that covers everything that I have. Mr. Hartnett, do you have any other issues?
Just on the confidentiality issue with the videos, do they think they would need to be impounded? Or just held confidentially? They can't be, I can't redact them. So I just want to make sure that, I just want to note that. And then just as a logistical issue, I mean, this is an open hearing, but there may be times where we need to play some video and whatnot. So I'm not sure the best way to handle that. If we need to, I can try to keep that all together, but maybe we may need to have people like leave the room during certain parts of it, and then come back. But I'll try my best to not have back and forth, but try to do it all at once or twice if I can. If that makes sense.
That seems sensible to me. Mr. Coyle, do you have anything to say on that subject?
I have no objection to that, Your Honor.
Okay, so Lizzie, we'll have to be prepared to have people leave the room at the times that the videos will be played, since they can't be redacted.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
the video and the audio, the 911 recording,
okay.
would certainly be something I'd want to play and have everybody leave the room.
Well, the audio of the 911 report, other than the beginning or at some point, I assume that the alleged victim, the person who made the call, anyway, would be identifying herself. Am I correct?
Yes.
But other than that, is there anything in the audio that would have to be the audio of the 911 report? We don't need video. You don't no video of the 911 report. Is there just audio?
It's just audio, correct.
So why, if we can just close the hearing briefly at the point of identification? What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
is it necessary to close?
Yeah,
the hearing?
it's not a very long clip. So, and it's not like a simple, she identifies herself right at the very beginning, and then it's sort of mixed in there at the beginning, if I remember correctly. I'll look at it. I'll certainly listen to it again and see if we can.
All right, okay, if you can present the 911 call in such a way that the room would need to be cleared only for the time or times when she identifies herself, I think it's helpful. It would be helpful because that's a key piece of evidence. And if not, we'll have to clear the room for the entire call. But if you take a look, maybe if you take a listen, maybe you can determine whether the room will only have to be cleared for a very, very brief time.
Yes, Ron, I'll look into that.
Okay, thank you. If there's nothing further, then I will see you next week for the hearing. What date do we have scheduled, Lizzie, at this point?
The hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, December 11th,
Right.
at 9:30 a.m. And that is at the post-commission office at 84 State Street, and we will send that to parties.
What was the last thing you said?
Oh, we'll share that information with the parties in
Oh,
a notice of hearing.
correct. Then I will see you on December 11th at 9:30.
Your Honor,
After
can
the
I
post-
make
Oh,
a
yes,
request
what?
for a second? We're coming from Springfield, and it sounds like we're only going to have 2 witnesses. Could we start that at 10 o'clock?
Let me take a look. Just a minute. That's no problem. Lizzie, does that present any problem technically?
No, that's fine. We can have the hearing start at 10 a.m.
Okay, Mr. Hartnett, 10 a.m., fine with you?
That's fine with me.
Okay, then the hearing will start December 11th at 10 a.m. And traffic may be bad, Mr. Coyle, so I hope your witnesses get an early start.
Well, I'll be driving with them, so we'll both be late if we are.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll call you later, Tim.